My overall impression is that they're outstanding. The students love them. They thoroughly enjoy the chance to be able to move around and to put their belongings underneath. It's really been a really positive change.
The chairs, the mobility of the chairs is fantastic, along with, and I realize this is a little thing, but having a place where the materials can go under the desk that moves with them as they move around the classroom is just fantastic.
One of the things I love about the rooms is that they're so fluid. You can move so fluidly from one arrangement to another. So on a really good day, we're in several different setups throughout the hour. I love the options that the classroom gave me.
It's really essential in a foreign language class to create a community environment because you want to break down barriers and walls that prevent students from speaking, and of course exposing yourself and speaking in a foreign language when you can think at this level but you can say things at a 2-year-old level. It's very hard for students. If we ask students a question, there's usually silence because nobody wants to say anything. But in groups, you get students to work in groups or in pairs, and all of a sudden you have a buzz. You hear the level of discussion going on in a classroom.
And you say, okay, now everybody turn to 2 people and let's look at this problem. And they all just sit there and go. But in this sort of a room, and you say, get in groups of 3, immediately they're just moving around because they like to move around. That's cool.
I use the classroom for a lot of group assignments. So it's very easy to put people into different groups. Having kind of the chair and a movable desk for the faculty member, I can be placed in the middle of the groups, kind of working around like a wheel spoke, and I can move into different groups as I hear things that they're working on, and I can help them in that regard. It also allows the groups to interact as well. So what we'll do sometimes is, as each group is working together, we'll move one team member of the group and rotate them to the other groups to share their ideas, the process they're going through solving the problems. And it's a real, very efficient way to work in teams, but also integrate the teams so they learn from each other.
I can PowerPoint from the front of the room if I need that, moving into small group arrangements and all kinds of configurations. I can pull people into a large group discussion or put them to work on the boards on their own, solving problems, and then go back and look at that work with everyone turning to see whatever is on every board. And if you think about it, when students commit to your class, they commit to an hour that you get to plan for them. So I want to make really good use of that time and space. And so these classrooms give me a space where I can do many things. So I have to think hard about what's the best thing to do, what's the best configuration to support my learning goals.
The specific way that I use the classrooms, obviously I do a lot of group work with them, and I use the mix of the whiteboards and the flexible chairs to move them around into groups, to split them apart into really paired groups and then grab them back together. We do a lot of work where they're having to move around, where it's easy for them to use the chairs to just shift from space to space. So that's been really nice.
Especially the smart boards, I think, they're actually easier to use than previous setups. So I think it's nice to be able to have, I know that different rooms have different numbers of smart boards. One of the things that I heard from one teacher, and that happened in a session that I was in, where there's not just the whiteboard at the front, but also there's whiteboards and smart boards on different parts of the room. And I think that so far, everything that I hear from all the teachers is, of course, they just want in.
The technology is great too. I mean, first of all, just having all the equipment embedded in and not hauling it from the department is wonderful. But it also offers a lot of learning opportunities for our students. One is that we can easily share each other's work. So whether they're working individually or as teams, we can put up what each of the groups working on. What's nice is so much of the technology interconnects with the technologies that the students are bringing into the class. So a lot of times they'll send me their work to my iPad. I'll look at it, send it back, and sometimes there's something I really want to show to the class that they're working on, and then I can just transmit that over to the larger to the screen, and we can all take a look at it. So it really allows kind of individual interaction between me and students, allows group interactions between groups or groups and the faculty member, and then it allows individuals or groups to also show their work to everyone else in the class. So, and I think part of it is just the seamlessness of it. It's a very efficient system to use, and I think it just enhances the learning environment.